On to another question, and this one will also be on education, and then I'm going to leave that topic for a little while. Casey, we will begin with you, and my question is, what is your position on appropriating funds for tribal colleges in North Dakota?
I am all for appropriating funds for tribal colleges in North Dakota. You know, there's one of the biggest issues down on the reservations is poverty. Let's face it, their economy, there really isn't much of an economy down on the reservations. They generally are in a true depression. And really the way out of poverty is through education. And if we want people to improve themselves, we got to lay the building blocks in you know, a good foundation. And the best way to do that is to allow people to get a good education.
Okay, thank you. Now you caught me flat-footed because I hadn't figured out what my next question was. You answered so fast. All right, well, but I can always come up with something. The last question that I would like to ask you is, what investments in our vulnerable citizens would you support? And when you think of vulnerable citizens, I guess I'm probably particularly fond of thinking about those folks who are going to be 65 in those next few years, because I'm right in there. So I want to know how you're going to keep me in my own home when I get a little bit frail, and how are you going to take care of these vulnerable folks? Dave. Casey, how would you respond?
Well, you know, one of the most important things, obviously, is health care. And, you know, I have firsthand experience with the healthcare system, being as I had cancer and everything. You know, the big thing that we got to work on is to reduce the overheads. And, you know, there's some small towns where people don't have access to health care because the hospitals or the clinics are struggling financially. Both with their overheads and then also with their insurance companies. They have overheads, so they're not paying their bills on time. They're not paying the claims on time for people. We need to work with both the clinics and the insurance companies to reduce those overheads. Hospice care is an area that greatly would greatly benefit people in need. When it costs about $300 for a person to go to the doctor visit, and if they had a nurse go to their house, it's $60 to $75. That right there is speaking exactly to what I was talking about, reducing the overheads. I also would open up the pharmacy laws in this state and allow Target and Walmart to come in and sell the generics for $4. That's going to go a long way towards saving people money. And also, we got to look at other people in need, including the kids. And there's estimates range between 14 and 20,000 kids in North Dakota alone without health insurance. That is far too many. We need to take care of them. And finally, I'd like to wrap it up and say I'd like to expand the homestead credit so people can afford to stay in their home too.
Now is to give you one last chance. So our final question is just, is there any topic that you would like to address that has not been covered already? And you have 1 minute to do this, and we'll begin with Carol. Casey, 1 minute.
Okay, well, thanks. Since Dave alluded to it, I'll bring it up. You know, that Measure 1 has often been called the Rainy Day Fund. Well, today is our rainy day. There's people struggling in this state to make ends meet. There's countless people with 2, 3 jobs. There's elderly people struggling to pay their property taxes or buy their medications. People have to, when someone has to make a choice between, do I get medications or do I buy food today? That is unacceptable in today's society. You know, I'm 27 years old. I can count on one hand the amount of friends that I graduated from college with out at married that are still in Bismarck. We need to take care of our kids here and keep them in the state. And the big way to do it is to create some real good paying jobs. I'm tired of hearing how this is a low wage state. That's not something to be proud of.
Okay.